Okay. Hello everyone and welcome back again to another episode of For Mother Matron. The last time we stopped was when Lizzy had just volunteered to go into this door or to go through this door. And let's hope that I remember the different voices I gave for the characters. But okay, let's go and continue on this adventure of ours. I volunteered so confidently just to get them to shut up, but the instant I had said it, I felt intense regret. I was totally gonna do it anyway, but fine if you insist. Oh yeah, I think Puck's voice was slightly lower. Thanks, Lizzy. Yeah, Rich had that kind of mid-range, cheerful voice. Dot dot dots. And so I stepped closer. I know I freaked out last time, but thankfully enough time has passed where I've had time to think about this scene, even though I haven't gone any farther. I reached my hand to open the door. I knocked. Oops. Hello? We're here, Mother Matron. We're coming in. I clasped the doorknob. I twisted it, only to find it locked. Huh? Why the scream? Lizzy, why'd you scream? Shut up! Okay, she screamed. There's a thingy there. Silence filled the hall. Let me lower the volume on my end, just cause, okay, that's, thankfully I didn't completely jump and disintegrate, but for the future. Silence filled the hall. Are you Mother Matron? Pux has noticed something, he says. Hello? Anyone there? Silence filled the hall yet again. Then a crackling, static buzz leaks in from the ceiling above us. I looked up to see a speaker above us. A warm and tender voice, laced with static, drips through the perforated disc in the ceiling.
Yes, my darlings. Your Mother Matron is here.
Oh my god! I actually love Mother Matron's. I love Mother Matron's voice. Hi, hello, Mother. Hi, Mommy. Puck simply glares.
You are here because of the letter I sent, yes?
Mm-hmm.
And are you all ready to do what I ask of you?
No. We came here, didn't we? Just get on with it.
I'll elect to ignore that tone of yours, Pux. Time is of the essence.
Wait, are you going to come out and see us? Or let us in?
No, my children. I am sorry. I have kept this a secret from all of you so as to prevent a panic. But your Mother Matron is very, very sick.
Ooh, that's like a really good touch to add the coughing. A raspy, phlegmy cough followed and reverberated across the hallway. Also, Mother Matron, you are a mushroom. Mother Mushroom. Oh my gosh, Mother. Mommy. Oh, brother. Ooh, that was actually kind of low.
I do not wish to explain the specifics, but I am unable to leave this room. My illness is quite infectious.
Lies.
It is agonizing and dreadful, and I refuse to put my children through this hell just to sate my selfish desire to embrace you and love you with my own arms.
Mother, you don't have any arms.
Oh, it breaks my heart so. I love you with all that I am, and I try as hard as possible to keep the boarding alive and well. However, I've reached the limits of what I am capable of. The Crepuscule lays outside my reach. Are any of you aware of what lies in those depths?
No, I just know it's scary and dangerous. Something about it also makes our siblings change. I'm sure it's a goddamn lovely place. Okay, Puck sounds too old now.
Then I will tell you of its true nature. It is a spider's web of tunnels that lie beneath the boarding. You've all probably heard that part. What you likely have not heard is the fact that it is the primary source for our vital resources. Our power and water is provided by machinery installed down there.
Oh no, but I hope it's not a lie. Wait, I thought you used your motherly powers to provide us with that. It was a lie, obviously.
Unfortunately, Pux is correct. I never wanted any of you to feel as if your lives could be in jeopardy, so I decided to teach you all that it was forever plentiful. To be honest, I did not even intend for you all to know of the Crepuscule. You have some nosy siblings. The best I could do once the secret was out was to simply obfuscate its purpose.
Somehow I don't believe that children living in a slum or slums such as the boarding would know what the meaning of obfuscate is.
To make matters
But
worse,
it's fine.
something terrible appeared down there that forced my hand and forced me to rely on my children. There are beasts down there. Terrible things that I wish none had to encounter. But they are quite clever. They've discovered that if they attack our utilities, they can all but force us to send our own down there to get eaten alive.
So what? They've been baiting us down there? How long has this been happening?
Far too long.
Why haven't we done something about them? We should eradicate the damn thing so you don't need to keep sending poor fucks down there to die.
It is not that simple. Each of the beasts are difficult to kill, and they keep managing to create new nests, no matter how many of them are destroyed. They are persistent vermin.
I love Mother Mushroom's tone right now. Like, the voice acting's really good. The ones that are provided in the game. You're telling me we couldn't send everyone down there with a bunch of weapons and squish them all fast before they have a chance to repopulate?
We could if you enjoy the idea of watching all of your siblings get slaughtered. You do not understand the threat we are dealing with, boy. It is a threat far beyond children, far beyond adults, and even far beyond I.
Beautiful delivery. Oh no. Pux's pupils have constricted. What do we fucking do then, huh? Just keep sending kids to die down there? You know you're gonna run out of kids at this rate, right? Almost all of them fucking die, and the ones that don't might as well be dead. We'd all fucking die eventually.
I am aware.
What?
I said I am aware. I am aware that every poor, innocent child I send down there is in immense danger and has very little chance of surviving. I am painfully aware. It's unfortunate, but it is simply the only option we have. Believe me, I have tried. You either all will die fast in a bloody slaughter, or the boarding will slowly bleed out. Both options are terrible, but at least one of them gives us more time before we drift into the void.
That's terrible. Oh my gosh. Some fucking provider you are. Some fucking deity or whatever you are. You make this whole place a goddamn monument to yourself and feed us hopeful lies so you can send us to die and live like a goddamn queen.
I understand your hatred, Pux. I really do. You may not believe me, but I do not do any of this for my own self-interest. I simply wanted to give you all something to believe in, something that would make the trials worth suffering through. I struggle to not bawl and weep every day. I struggle to maintain the confidence to lead. I do not want you all to live with this burden to carry. More than anything, I hate that I have to ruin anyone's innocence. Were it at all possible, I would rather you live in blissful ignorance. That is simply not an option, though.
I looked to Pux and Rich. Pux was clenching his fists so hard that his knuckles were pure white. He was gritting his teeth in fury like before. Sorry, I still haven't gotten over whatever's in my throat. If there was not a barrier between us and the Mother Matron, I'm positive he would have flung himself upon her and beat her to death with his own hands. Rich looked somber, but with his hand resting on his chest. He never had it easy, but this was clearly the most upsetting thing he'd ever had to confront in his life. I felt a weight of dread that rested itself in my stomach. It felt like it weighed several tons. I had hoped that this would be the worst it would ever get from me. It wasn't.
We can waste more time if you like, Pux. You can spend more time tearing me down and bemoaning the situation, or we can move on and do our best to prevent things from getting worse. Your choice.
Fine. What do we have to do?
Thank you for picking the responsible option.
There was another option?
Here's your mission. You three are to go down into the Crepuscule and find a structure known as the Subsurface Dam. You are to repair any damage done in the facility and slay any beasts in the immediate vicinity. You will need weapons. Some are stored in the locker room downstairs on the first floor, near the stairs leading to the Crepuscule's entrance. You will certainly perish without a way to defend yourself should you forget weapons. Pux, you in particular will need to make sure that you have an appropriate set of tools at hand so you can make repairs.
I see. Was I specifically chosen for this? I was under the impression you selected the kids at random.
Semi-random. I try to put at least one child who is more mechanically minded in every group I send down.
Lucky me.
If you complete the mission while keeping your mind intact, you are to return here immediately and report to me. Understood? Do not go anywhere else first. Come straight here. Am I understood?
I nod, doing my damnedest to hold back the tears burning behind my eyes. Yes, Mother Matron. We will get it done. Yeah, we'll do the best we can. Sure, we'll go fucking die for you. Yep, totally. Pux then whispered under his breath. Asshole.
Boy, you are fortunate that my love for you is unconditional. Just get going.
Pux glared towards the Mother Matron's shadow. I tapped him on the shoulder gently. He continued to glare for a moment, but finally turned away. Let's fucking go already. Pux made his way to the stairs. Rich and I exchanged looks, then followed suit. Wordlessly, we went down the long set of stairs to the first floor. It was less tiring going down than going up, and fortunately. The locker room itself sat in a hall to the side of the stairs, positioned towards the back of the monolith structure. The lockers themselves were in terrible condition. Most of the doors had either fallen off or were seemingly kicked in. We were all still shaken from the conversation with the Mother Matron. I keep pausing in between. I'm sorry. From the conversation with the Mother Matron, but we tried our best to not let our fear manifest itself. Rich was the first to speak. Yeesh, this smells horrible. No kidding. Let's get our shit and get going. Carefully avoiding puddles and scummy tiles, Puck stepped past Rich to the lockers. He began rooting through them. What do you see? Nothing mind-blowing, but something's better than nothing in this situation, I suppose. Here. Pux tossed across a crowbar towards Rich. The crowbar nearly bonked him on the head and knocked him out, but he fortunately caught it with a yelp. Ah, careful! You caught it, didn't you? Pux rummages around some more. Yeah, this could work. Here, Lizzy, take this. Pux, fortunately, handed me a large knife. It was a lot heavier than it looked. Careful. It's not the sharpest thing, but you could still cut yourself pretty easily with it. I carefully ran my right hand against the side of the blade. Its rusty surface felt scratchy against my fingertips. I'll be careful with it. What are you taking? Pux pulled out a large wooden baseball bat. He took a few slow practice swings with it, getting comfortable with its weight. I'm taking this slugger.
You're really cool!
It suits you! Do you play baseball? I was like, yeah, his helmet looks like it's a baseball helmet. I used to. I had a couple of friends I used to play with, but never mind. That's not important. I have a feeling that Pux knew someone who got summoned, and that's why he doesn't like the Mother Matron. It was brief, but I saw his eyes briefly fill with sadness. I felt bad for asking, but I had the feeling apologizing would just hurt him more. Are there any tools in these lockers or something? I feel like we might need those. I have some in my pockets, but let me take a look. Doesn't hurt to have more to work with. Pux rummaged around some more, then shouted in excitement. Aha! A toolbox. Let's see what's inside. Not bad. Seems well stocked. Some of the tools are kinda old and rusty, but they'll get the job done. Alright. I think this is everything we need. Or at least everything we're gonna have. Are you two ready? Yes, I suppose so. Me too. As ready as I'll ever be. Pux nodded and led us on. Through the shower room was a room that was largely empty, save for one old hatch. I think this is it. I swallowed hard. I could hear the light chattering of teeth. I could hear the light chattering of teeth behind me, probably coming from Rich. I looked at them, nodded, then went down the hatch. Ooh, these tunnels remind me of like the I've never been there, but like the catacombs under Paris. We now stood in a long, dark tunnel which extended far ahead into pure darkness. The tunnel felt unnaturally cold, both to the skin and to the soul. The very air carried the message. This was a place that held nothing but abject misery. Even if you were blind to the decrepit appearance of the tunnel, the cold would tell you this was a place where happiness had never been. We could see our breath in the tunnel, white mist punctuating each exhalation. You wouldn't happen to have another sweater, would you, Lizzy? No, sorry. It's not really helping me as much as you'd think it would. Still, bet it feels warmer than what we're wearing. I hope it's less cold further in, but that's probably futile. Shall we get going? Pux and Rich nodded. We descended further into the tunnel, trying not to pay mind to the fact that our chances of coming back out were slim to none. The craggy tunnels were illuminated by lonely light bulbs, which miraculously had not burned out. Who knows how long they had been burning down there? Ooh, light bulbs. Also, they're being sent to they're being sent to fix the pipes, right? That's what Mother Matron was trying to say. This must be some kind of mine. Really? What makes you say that? I've read some books about them, and the pictures in them look a hell of a lot like this place does. I'd bet you 20 drachs. I forgot how they pronounce it. I'd bet you 20 drachs we'll find mining equipment somewhere ahead. I thought back to my market purchases earlier today. Well, unfortunately for you, I'm broke. What a shame. I'll take an IOU then. I gave a little laugh at that. It was nice to see that Pux had a lighter side to him. Rich. Oh yeah, Rich. This is Rich speaking. Hey guys, look at this. What is it? I think it's a journal or something. Resting on a wooden bench against the wall was a small little book with a black leather, or maybe faux leather, cover. Let me take a look. Do we really have time for this? I'll take any excuse to not go further in, thank you very much. I thumbed through the journal. Many pages were water damaged and illegible, but eventually found a section that was somewhat readable. I read aloud. Okay, so this is not voiced. Way longer than planned. Wadey is not happy. Oh, I should give a funny voice. You'd think a guy running a rehab center would be more patient, but not this guy. Blake tried to explain to him that we were going as fast as we can, and that the excavation just ended up being more complicated than the surveys indicated, but Wadey still blew a gasket. Threatened to fire us and hire another contractor on the spot till Blake talked him down. No one even knows why we're doing this in the first place. What the hell does a rehab center even need underground tunnels for anyway? The pay is good, at least. Better than it's ever been. If I save enough up, I know for sure I can finally give Milo a good Christmas this year. He deserves it after all he's been through. The job's close to being done too. We just gotta finish the cowering, and I can spend all December with him. That part won't take nearly as long as the excavation. Maybe we'll take a trip too. The rest of the entry was illegible, and the writing stopped shortly after this point. That's weird. What were they even talking about? They were talking about building this tunnel, dumbass. No, I got that part. I meant, like, what is Christmas? Who are those people? I haven't met anyone named Wadey, Blake, or Milo. Me neither. Well, oh no! I can hear screaming, but I accidentally, I clicked. Is there, okay, hold on. Is there a way to go back to the history? There we go. Puck said, well, we're not gonna find out anytime soon. We should get, and then they hear the scream, and Lizzy says, what? I don't know. We looked around frantically. Dot, dot, dot. We couldn't see anything. And then suddenly, oh, what the hell was that? It was like someone spoke directly inside my skull. I didn't like it. But before I could question it further...
What the frick is that thing?
Oh no! Oh, also, hey, it's a moving sprite. I mean, the sprite's moving. Yeah, what the frick is that thing? There, behind Rich, I saw something my mind could scarce comprehend. A horrible, lumbering tower of meat with glassy blue eyes. Ooh! That stared with a cold hunger and malice. It writhed in the distance, a living nightmare that was delighted to know that none of us could wake up to escape it. While it was hard to determine exactly where its attention was drawn, it was clear that Rich was in its sights. That's when it reared up and charged at Rich. No! If I didn't do something, that monstrosity would do something terrible to him. Okay, I'm gonna save. Is there a quick save button? Does Q do anything? No. I had a knife with me. There was no way I'd be able to get between Rich and the beast, but maybe I could cripple it or at least stun it. I raised the knife and mentally marked the beast's eye as my target. Take this! I threw the knife. And and stuck Rich right through the eye. Oh no! What the fuck, Lizzy? Rich did not scream at me. He was silent. The knife had likely struck his brain. Rich went limp and fell to the ground. I had killed Rich. Rich was dead by my hand. I was in disbelief. I stood there frozen, in complete shock and horror at what I had done. The beast did not wait for me to grieve. It lunged at me. Lizzy! Or Lizzy! Pain. An eruption of fire in my chest that flared down the whole width of my torso. The accumulation of millions of tiny little pins prickling their way through my flesh. While I stood there in complete shock, unable to comprehend the manslaughter I committed, the creature charged and impaled me with it on its filthy teeth. The saliva that coated them burned my insides. I could feel it turning my vital organs into a slurry of protein that the creature could suck down its gullet. I collapsed. Pux screamed my name again. I didn't hear it, though. I was already gone. The Crepuscule had claimed another. Time to replay. If I didn't do something, that monstrosity would do something terrible to him. Push Rich away from the creature. If I wanted to save Rich, there was only one option. There was no way he would react in time and get away. He wouldn't even know he was getting killed until after the creature gored him. Watch out! So I charged towards Rich and shoved him out of the way. What? I shoved Rich to the wall. He was safely away now while I stood in his place. Before I could get too comfortable, I heard the stomping feet of the beast. It was coming right at me. I had to think fast. No! I'm too slow. Retry! What if I yell out to Rich? I yelled to Rich. I had to warn him. Time slowed. I needed Rich to run, turn around, block, do something. But he just stared at me dumbly during that half second that began to feel like hours. Could I blame him though? He had no idea what I was shouting at him for. He had no idea of the madness behind him. Neither did his poor little heart. Rich fell to the ground, his eyes wide in shock. A torrent of blood began to pour freely from the hole in his chest. No, dang, I was so close! Oh, thank goodness, I jumped out of the way. I was good so far. I had to hope my legs could carry me away from the creature's attack fast enough. I leapt to the side. What? No! This reminds me of that one game called Until Dawn. That's what it was called. Yes! I stabbed hard in front of me. The creature ran right into my blade. The blade dug deep into the creature's flesh with a crisp slice. The creature let out a yelp and stumbled backwards in shock and pain, taking the blade with it. I had no weapon now, but I at least had time to put distance between me and the beast. I ran to Pux and Rich. Fucking awesome. You got it, Lizzy. I looked back to the creature, which was starting to find its footing. Yeah, but not for long. It's okay. I have a plan. One of you needs to distract it. Distract it? Yeah, get its attention. Draw it away from me and keep its focus on you. I'll get it from behind. Oh wow, great idea. Who should do it? Don't care, just decide amongst yourselves. Rich looked at me, terrified. I had to decide which one of us would try and distract the creature, and fast. Myself. Sorry, Rich, I already saved you. I'm not gonna do this again. If you want something done right, you have to do it yourself, or so I justified to myself. I'll do it. Be careful. I'll be fine. I probably would not be, but that was neither here nor there. I stepped to the side, away from Pux and Rich. I had some room to think now. It was up to me to lure the creature away from them. How should I distract it? Okay, yeah, because this worked last time. But Rich still died. But the creature was hungry and fancied us as its meal, a carnivore. Therefore, what bait would work better than flesh? A shame that I only thought to offer my own. Hey, ho, look at me, I'm a yummy thing, come on. I tried to ignore the look of befuddlement Pux threw my way and continued. I waved my arms wildly and continued shouting at it. Come on, take the bait, come on, come on, come on, come on. It was still focused on Pux. I had to think, I had to try something else, anything. Come get me, you big stupid bug-eyed hunk of rat meat. That caught its attention. I wonder if it somehow knew I insulted it. The beast reared up, then charged. I wanted to run, but I kept my legs firm. I had to trust Pux. Ah! I closed my eyes. A wet, meaty thud. I opened my eyes. Pux was bashing the creature repeatedly with his bat. Die, you son of a fuck! Thud. Thud. Squish. Thud. He finally stopped. Things were quiet. The beast was dead. The creature shrieked, twitched, and shrieked. Another heavy bash from Pux. Thud. Thud. Squish. Thud. The beast was lying on the ground, twitching and wheezing horribly. Its horrid blood stank of metal and rot and pooled on the ground beneath it. With a pathetic little whimper, the creature stopped twitching. Its giant eye lost expression. It saw nothing anymore except eternity. It was dead. It's dead. Oh, thank God, it's dead. Rich, is everyone alright? Like, Rich, you stupid! You stupid, cute person. I don't know what else to call you. You stupid, cute beanpole. There you go. Is everyone alright? Yeah, I'm alright. Liz? Yeah, I'm fine. I can't believe we made it all in one piece. Same here. This thing is awful. Look at that. Its saliva is corrosive. Oh, that was Pux. Whoop. What? Acidic. It melts things. Look. From the large tusks, teeth? Still not sure what you would call them. Saliva dripped into the growing pool of blood below. The blood bubbled and hissed with each drop of saliva. We should be very careful. Whoops, that's Pux. We should be very careful. Try not to step in the blood puddle or touch the thing. Okay. She said okay, but quickly that ended up going past. Another cry, similar to that of the beast we had just killed, echoed across the tunnel from multiple directions. This creature was not the first, and it would not be the last. More were coming, and we had to move. Now. I agree. Run. We immediately took off, being careful to leap over the blood pool and not trip on the rough floor. I would expect Rich to, trip and accidentally touch the blood, but thankfully he's smarter than that right now. We ran faster than we had ever ran in our entire lives, I'm certain of that.
I think we should head straight here. It looks like a dead end on the left. Whoa!
I glance behind me and see Rich halfway inside the ground, holding on for dear life. Please, don't let Rich die again!
Please! Help!
In an instant, Rich was swallowed into the darkness. Rich! I began to run back, hoping I could pull Rich back in, but I was grabbed by my arm.
Liz!
Lizzy, I'm sorry we can't do anything for him now. We have to go. Shook him out. Ah! Pux's words fell on deaf ears. I wrenched my arm out from his grasp and ran towards the hole. Pux was quick to regain his grip on me. He quickly grabbed hold of my shoulders and began pulling me back down the tunnel with him. Lizzy, we have to go. No, let go of me. I gotta save him. I struggled against him, but he was able to keep control. He forcefully shook me by the shoulders. Liz, snap out of it. I froze for a moment. Listen, we have to go. We can't do anything now. I glared at him, then finally relented. We took off running, the horrible wheezes and screams growing louder and louder behind us. I glanced back to see looming shadows down the tunnel. Where were they even coming from? It didn't matter. I kept running. We both did. We ran. And ran. And ran. I don't know how long we ran for, but eventually the horrible cacophony behind us gave way to silence. We were safe for now, hopefully. I think we can rest for a minute. Pux leaned against the wall while I sat on the ground. We were drenched with sweat and terribly out of breath. Should we go back once we're rested? It's not right for us to just leave him there. He might still be alive. No, it's way too dangerous. You heard all those things. Going back would be suicide. I understand how you feel, but unfortunately, we gotta focus on our own survival now. He was right. I hated that he was right. Those beasts were alert and awake now. If they hadn't already been, they'd likely be lying in wait for us. Taking one of them down was a nightmare in of itself. Adding more to that equation didn't leave us with good odds. I had to hope that Rich would make it out alive somehow, that maybe he'd find his way up ahead and we'd be able to meet him again. After much wheezing and gasping for air, I got my bearings straight. I looked around. I was too focused on catching my breath to notice just how dark the tunnel was. Where are we? No idea. Further in for sure, but nothing distinguishing about this place. It's just a big tunnel. It's so dark. Do we have a light or anything? As a matter of fact, we do. Oh, this looks like a different tunnel than the other one. Pux pulls out a flashlight and clicks it on.
I love how reliable you are.
Phew. I was really not looking forward to stumbling around in the dark. You're so reliable, Pux. Ha! He blushed. Yeah, well, I couldn't count on you two morons to stock up properly. I suppose not. We both laughed softly, then trailed off in silence. ... We're kind of awful, aren't we? How do you figure? We're in a place where so many kids came to die, frightened and alone, and somehow we're laughing. Or right do we have to feel any kind of joy in the face of all this? I turned my eyes to the ground. I felt great shame. Listen, don't start feeling bad about yourself. You're not that bad. We're in a pretty fucked up situation. If you're able to smile a little and not break down completely, I think you're doing fine. And I think if you could see yourself from the outside, you wouldn't be as hard on yourself. I don't know about that, but I really appreciate it, Pux. Just speaking the truth is all. Still, it means a lot. Pux gave me a gentle smile. It would be the first and last time I'd ever see him look at me with such patience. Not to ruin the moment, but we should get going. I'm not a fan of standing around in a dark-ass tunnel. Me neither. Let's get going. We continued at a brisk but manageable pace. ... This tunnel was really long. The silence was eerie and deafening. Also, I'm just gonna save here. I'm happy with my choice where at least there's the possibility Rich is alive now. I'm happy with that. As opposed to him just dying, like in the previous bad end. The silence was eerie and deafening. I had to fill the air somehow. Hey, can I ask you something? Dunno, I haven't heard the question. I rolled my eyes. You mentioned you used to have friends to play baseball with, didn't you? Yeah? Why can't you play with them anymore? Did something happen? Yeah, something did. The awkward silence. Care to elaborate? Would prefer not to. Was it something bad? No, I just don't want to talk about it because it brings me too much joy. Of course it was something bad. Jeez, sorry. Really, I am sorry. I didn't mean to upset you. I shouldn't have cried. Apology accepted. I breathed a sigh of relief. Awkwardness encroached. Silence came home again. I kept my eyes glued to my shoes. Pux is silent. My friends got sent down here. My eyes widened as I quickly turned to look at him. They got one of those letters, like the ones we got. My friends Rocco and Wallace got them. They didn't tell me outright, but I saw the signs. Out of nowhere, they got all withdrawn and they didn't really want to play anymore. They'd look me in the eyes while we talked, but even looking directly at me, they were focusing somewhere thousands of miles away, like as if they could see storm clouds on the horizon. Then, one day, they were just gone. I never heard from them again. Or at least, I didn't hear from Rocco again. Wallace came back. You know how that all goes, though. He couldn't speak a single word properly, shaking like a dog that fell in ice water. That look in his eyes, that pitiful expression. He wasn't really Wallace anymore. I mean, he had the round face and the name, but everything that made him Wallace was sucked out, gone, disappeared. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Pux. I had no idea. It's okay. Well, it's not okay exactly, but you didn't mean any harm. It wasn't your fault. Is that why you hate the Mother Matron so much? Pretty much, yeah. I didn't exactly love her before like everyone else did. I just kinda knew she existed and didn't really pay any mind to it. But seeing Wallace like that, I can't ever forgive that cunt for letting that happen to him. I don't care what people say she's done for us or how much people look up to her. She got my friends killed, and who knows how many more before them. She can feed us all that bullshit about it being necessary and unavoidable, but I don't buy it for a fucking second. I can't say I blame you for feeling that way. I'm really sorry you went through that.
Mother Matron said so.
It's kind of hard for me to accept it. I really love the Mother Matron. I've written to her a lot, believe it or not. She would always say the nicest things, always tell me how wonderful I was doing. She supports me a lot, even if it is indirectly. It's not like you're the only one. It's a lot easier to revere someone when they haven't stolen something from you. Or at least when you're not aware of what's been stolen. I couldn't really say anything to that. I didn't harbor the same hatred as he did, but I didn't disagree with him either. Plus, when we talked to her, there was something deeply wrong. I couldn't tell you what bothered me so much, but something about it all really concerned me. I tried to not focus on those thoughts, though, and instead decided to try and console Pux. I thought about giving him a hug, but that felt like something he'd find patronizing. I settled for a gentle pat on his shoulder. I know we only met recently, but for the time being here, we're the only two people we can rely on. So, I don't know. If there's anything I can do to help, please let me know. Thank you. That means a lot. We have more important things to worry about, though. I need to keep focus. Let me change the way I'm sitting. I understand. Just don't forget, okay? I flashed him a warm smile. Thanks. We made our way through the dark tunnel, armed with a flashlight that did not light nearly as much as I would have liked to. The tunnel led us to a massive open cave filled with the sound of rushing water. A path led from the crag of rock we were standing on through the water to the center island where it branched in 3 directions. Okay, and this is where I'm going to end this episode for now. I hope you all enjoyed it, and please join me again for the next episode where we're going to see what's going to happen in this cave area. Okay. Goodbye, everyone!